Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Thank you so much for being here tonight. These drivers with the American Stock Car Racing League getting ready to take on Daytona here on the iRacing service as they get ready to roll off the grid. Drivers getting a grid up, rather, and drivers wrapping up qualifying here. We're rotating through the truck series here, the trucks tonight. And then next week will be Talladega with the trucks. As you know, with this American Stock Car Racing League group, they rotate through cars every 2 weeks, bouncing from Super Speedway to Super Speedway right here on Turn 1. Again, I'm Sean Fitz. Appreciate you being here tonight. Let's take a quick look at let's take a look at the schedule here with these drivers in case you want to hook up with them. It looks like we are all set here. Rolling through Daytona, then Talladega back and forth. We'll be in the Xfinity car starting 317. And then in the next-gen car oh, goodness, what is that? 331. So at the end of this month. And then we kick off into the playoffs with these drivers. So it's going to be really exciting to see how that materializes. And rotating through with the season coming to a close here at the end of May. Really excited to see how this is going to shake out. And you'll find all this racing action right here on Turn 1. Again, appreciate you tuning in tonight. Drivers hitting the track, getting ready to go. Green flag racing here at Daytona. A lot of super speedway racing here this week, or the last couple weeks here on the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's some of the best racing on the service when it's good. And right now, these drivers with the American Sim Racing Tour. I tell you what, they are going to make it good. I promise you. On the front row here tonight is James Waring, Chris Akers outside row 1, Eddie Morris, Daniel Holloway row 2, Dalton Gibson, Sean Stevens row 3, Tyler Hurt, Will Weaver row 4, Chase Greer, and Grayson Pate. Your top 10 as they get ready to come down through 3 and 4, one final time under pace, or the only time under pacing before this race gets kicked off under the lights here at Daytona tonight. Keep in mind, the drivers of the American Sim Racing Tour, they do have a fast repair available to them. Obviously, you don't want to leverage it, but it becomes a necessity sometimes. They will also need to come down pit road at least twice, or 3 times rather, for fuel and tires. So they do have an opportunity to repair these vehicles once. Let's see how it all shakes out. It seems there were some really exciting races with these drivers, and hopefully tonight's going to be no exception. The Chevy Silverado pace truck comes down pit road. James Waring on the inside gets him in the restart zone, and the green flag is out for the first time here tonight at Daytona. They come down the short chute between the tri-oval and turn 1 for the first time, side by side. Up front right now, Waring and Holloway. Holloway with a huge push out early, was able to get that inside line moving and grooving. But Akers is not going to let that go. We're going to see Chris Akers up front as much as he can possibly be there tonight. And right now, off the bumper, the 8 of Morris as they shoot down the backstretch, working to get up to speed here on these trucks. Unlike what we've seen in the newer cars, the new car last 2 weeks, these trucks are much more stable. You are going to have some stalled runs, but a lot of these drivers here are going to be working around and able to drive these NASCAR pick 'em up trucks here at Daytona. It's going to be really fun racing here tonight. And just like that, Waring's going to lose his help. And the 21 of Holloway is going to get the shove from the rear here. Sean Stevens, he moved up to the outside line to pick up the 21. And all of a sudden, Holloway on the move down the backstretch as these trucks start to get up to speed. Now the 92 on the bottom. That is Weber pushing Waring. And that bottom line coming alive. Two by two as they work through the corner here. Up to speed for the first time to wrap up lap number 2 at Daytona. Coming across the stripe there. Everybody's minding their P's and Q's here early. Outside row, that's the 21 and the 27 hooked up pretty tight, and then the 13 and the 92 on the bottom. Side by side, we are connected 2 by 2, pretty much 5 rows back. A little attempt at a 3-wide moment there on the 5th row, but that gets settled out now. 2 by 2, it's pretty much the eye can see about 15 deep. That inside line having the advantage coming off of turn number 4. Waring and Weber connected at the hip right now as they come across the stripe. That outside lane looking a little scattered. Maybe some temperature concerns there out of the 27, starting to run offset of the 21. And then we saw the 29 of Akers also out of line just a little bit there. Oh, and a big slide up is going to be Waring. He's going to move up to the nose of Holloway. Maybe to block a run. Now he's down back to the bottom. Holloway stalls out the top line. Or I'm sorry, not Holloway. Waring stalls out the top line, taking the air off the 21. Meanwhile, Akers is out of line on the high side. Not sure where he's going. Maybe backwards. He's starting to fall back through the field a little bit. After that move from Waring, I think Akers has said, no, I've had enough of this. I'm going to go find somewhere in the back to ride. Waring now on the bottom, off the bumper of the 92, after slowing up the 21 and 27. In the meantime, that outside lane starting to come to fruition. Oh, and our leader's going to get split. He's in trouble. There goes Waring down the middle. He's got to hang on here. In the meantime, Holloway is going to move to the bottom, and he's going to take that lead away, while James Waring, after leading the laps and starting on the pole, is going to fall all the way back to 9th. New leader, Daniel Holloway, coming down the track, coming down the front stretch. On the bottom, finding his P's and Q's in that 21. A really solid move there. They were able to split Waring, who now has had to move up to the high side of the outside lane. Certainly didn't look intentional, but now the 21, the 92, is connected like glue as they come down the backstretch, giving that lead to that inside line here on lap number 6. Side by side as they roll through 1 and 2 again here on lap number 7, the outside lane. Picking up a little bit of pace, that's Stevens. He's going to have the push from the 16 there of Tyler Hurt on the outside lane. Mostly both lines pretty even as they roll through 3 and 4, roll 2, 3 and 4, but now the bottom line, that 92 is connected with the 21 really quick, and we've seen Daniel Holloway be really, really fast each and every week here on turn 1 with this American Stock Car Racing Group. 21 tonight is no exception, except now finding some speed in these trucks here. As the 92 really gets out of shape, pops down to the yellow line, and there it is, the 27 is going to get out just ahead with the shove from Hurt to take the air off of Daniel Holloway and move down to the bottom. Meantime, a little bit of 3 wide racing here. Akers on the outside. I thought he checked out, but he's still there. Trying to find a home somewhere in line. He's going to slide back to the 4th truck on that outside line. In the meantime, though, the front 4, the first 4, single file on the bottom. Big wiggle. I don't know who that was back there that wiggled that hard. Red and white truck. Yellow paint, was that Dalton Gibson? It was in the 7. We saw him wiggle pretty hard right there in front of Eddie Morris. I think Eddie had to check up to avoid an incident. In the meantime, that outside lane has come apart. Oh, we've got trucks scattered out towards the back. That was Gibson again. Had to get out of it pretty hard as now that inside lane nowhere near as organized as it was just 2 laps ago. '92 and the 27, both controlling lines here with with Holloway and Weber. Row number 2. Top 10 trucks here, top 12, 14 trucks in this front pack, but everybody's relatively, not just single filed out, but everybody's pretty clean. A little bit of gap between everybody except for the leaders here as they come across the stripe to take lap 11 of the American Stock Car Racing Tour right here on turn 1. Appreciate everybody being here. Super speedway action here at Daytona tonight in the trucks. A lot of fun with these drivers. Bunch of clean racing can produce, these drivers can produce a bunch of clean racing, which leads to some phenomenal fights towards the end of these super speedway races. And as you know, that's when it matters most. You've got to be there at the end to be able to win. This driver's looking for a trophy here tonight as that truck on the high side is going to go a lap down. Going to pick the high side up against the wall. Everybody's going to be able to squeeze by him there here at Daytona. Still side by side as they come across the stripe. The 27 is going to lead by, about a bumper or so that last time by. Weber on the outside. So far, a decent showing there for Will Weber on the outside. He's up 6 spots on the night. I'm sorry, that's 5 spots on the night. The lead would be 6 spots. He's got that truck in cruise control. With most of the pack kind of right here with one another. Bottom line's going to start to pick up a little bit of pace. They were organized as they came down the backstretch. The outside lane's only got about 6 trucks leading it up. They're going to fall about half a truck length off the inside as they come across the stripe. 27-21 on the bottom. So far, we've not really seen Stevens be able to break away too much of a run here off the bumper of the 21. As we are probably just about halfway through this fuel run here for a lot of these drivers. And we're going to see, there it is, Weber. He got a big push down the backstretch off the bumper. Off the bumper there of, who was that? That's the 16 truck of, I'm sorry, that's the 16 truck of Hurt. Able to really get a run up there and take that spot away. Near contact with Waring. And Stevens, though, on that second row, a bunch of swerving around there as they came to the start-finish line. They get that sorted out. And Waring's glued to the bumper of Hurt while the 27 and the 92 are connected up. And actually, that outside lane started to come apart a little bit. Only 4 trucks up there. Nobody on the bumper. In the meantime, on the inside is a hard push. Here's Akers. He's going to squeeze his way into the inside. Akers is going to find that 4th spot on the inside. That's going to leave down that outside row 3 trucks. Down 2. James Waring is going to fall back if he doesn't find a place here soon. He's all by himself now on that high line. As they come to the stripe here, lap 14. James Waring on the outside, about 6 trucks back from our leader. Hoping for a little bit of a door draft here in the meantime. Weber, Stevens, Hurt, Holloway, and Akers, your top 5. You're not really missing anything else out back either. Mostly single files. They come down the backstretch. Everybody, they must have got a memo this week. Hey, we want to keep it clean and green for as long as we possibly can. As they cruise down into turn 3 and 4. So far, these drivers making it look easy here tonight under the lights at Daytona on turn 1. And there it is. I knew we were going to see some pit stops sooner or later. That's going to be our leader. Going to also bring the 27. And about, I don't know, about 10 other drivers coming down pit road for service. This is first stops of the night under green flag here on turn 1. That's going to leave Tyler Hurt, Daniel Holloway, Chris Akers, Grayson Pate, Todd Poston. Your top 5. Down pit road was Sean Stevens, Will Weber, Eddie Morris, Mike Binky, Rob Dubedak, Ethan Horst, and a couple others. Guy Braco down there as well. So a good portion of the field coming down pit road. I would argue a little less than half. And now we're going to see the rest. Pretty much everybody from the lead. It's coming down pit road. We saw Akers get checked up pretty hard there, but everybody's going to be pretty clean coming down pit road. This is going to be the rest of the field for the most part coming down, and this is going to be where the blend is going to be back here on the backstretch. Sean Stevens is all by himself. He's got about a 15 gap lead off the 92 of Will Weber. He's going to need to ride that brake pedal a little bit, otherwise this 3-car run right here is going to make some speed. We'll see how this all shakes out. As now it looks like Stevens is going to lose some, he's going to lose that cycle through position just due to these 3 trucks lined up single file and on the move. So let's see how this works. Weber leading this 3-truck pack, passing a lot of the drivers that have been down pit road already. Can they cycle their way to the lead? They're up to 6th, up to 5th. They are going to have the speed. I think they're going to do it. Absolutely. Organized pit stops are going to benefit the driver of the 92, the 35, and the 99. We've got a new set of leaders at Daytona here. Clean and green as they come across the stripe to take lap number 18. Will Weber, after a green flag pit stop, cycling the rest of the field through. Back to the lead. Now we're going to see Holloway. He's going to bring a group to the high side. That's going to include Akers. That's also the 16 truck of Hurt. 3 deep on the outside. They've got a pretty strong run here, but it's going to stall out on the high side. And then we're going to have a 2x2 run here. This is where the pack's going to get built back up. Holloway was going to try to move down, but the 92 was closing. I would like to think they're the 21, wanted to bring the 29 with him, but they were nowhere clear. In the meantime, Weber leading on the bottom. Big push here from the 35. Nearly makes contact with Holloway. The 92 is going to lead that lap as the pack is now built back up here. Double wide for the first, let's call it 8 rows. Looks like there's an incident on track. No green flag or no yellow flag. Yes, she's going to get that truck rolling. Gets it out of the grass, keeps moving here. We stay green. Side by side as they roll down through turn 2. I'm sorry, that was turn 4 rather. Daniel Holloway is going to lead that lap now off the nose of the 29. Chris Akers is going to lose his drafting buddy to the bottom. Akers is now going to resume the lead on the high side with a 16 of Hurt on the push. Now for drivers like Rob Duvidak and Matt Binky, like what do they do here? Does Binky move to the back and maybe cycle back, or is he still in front enough to stay out of trouble? Same with Duvidak. What does he elect to do? Again, riding on that inside lane here. Just hoping nothing materializes in front of him. In the meantime, the 21 free and clear out front. Off the bumper of the 92. Well, Chris Akers on the high side is going to lead that group. (21, 29, 92, 16, 35 is your top 5. Still green flag here at Daytona. 22 laps in. American Stock Car Racing lead. 21 truck of Daniel Holloway, your leader after some green flag pick stops. Shook up the field here just about 7 laps ago. That is something to keep of note. These drivers came down around lap 15, around lap 16, just depending on which cycle, which set of trucks you were with. Based on that math, we should see them around lap number 32. Just about 10 more laps or so. In the meantime, majority of the trucks in the field right here kind of put together side by side. That outside lane showing a little bit of a wiggle. Duvidak, he has moved up to that outside lane, pushing the 92. He's going to push the 92 all the way to the lead here off the nose of the 21. All of a sudden, Daniel Holloway is 4th after running from the lead there for a couple laps. Meantime, Will Weber, Rob Duvidak This is a solid run here for the 99 so far tonight. He has shown flashes of speed, but I take that driver as somebody kind of sitting back towards the rear, waiting to see how things played out. But unfortunately, the last 2 or 3 weeks have not played out well. Rob sitting in the rear, getting involved in a couple of incidences. I actually spoke to him early last week or late last week, telling him he couldn't catch a break if he tried. And tonight, looks like that 99's got the wick turned up. In the meantime, it looks like Matt Beakey is in a little bit of trouble. I believe that's who that is down the middle. There it is. Matt's been running pretty high in that outside lane. He's going to get kind of trapped in the middle here. Oh, he's making everybody nervous. Holloway's going to move up to the 29. This is a 3-wide scramble here, but everybody's checked up on that high side with Matt in a bad spot. All of a sudden, Daniel Holloway picks up the draft and brings him back forward. I don't know if that was the intent of the 21 or not, but first of all, that outside lane got real nervous. But then the 21 moved up and picked up that 35 out of nowhere and shot him through the middle of that field. Everybody on that outside lane able to take a little bit of a breath as they come to the stripe here, lap number 25. With Holloway leading on the outside, he moved up just to get, I feel like, the 35 up there. Well, now that the 35's up there off the bumper of the 29, the 21 goes back down to the bottom, takes the lead away from Will Weber. The 92 is going to slide up there. That is Weber going to slide up to the high side. Oh, Beakey in trouble too. What? I'm not quite sure what happened there. He's going to try to take the super high side, open up a third lane, but I'm going to tell you what, the door's about to get shut. He's going to cause a wreck. Several trucks involved. Was not clear, unfortunately. That's going to send several trucks scattered, and we're going to be under caution here for the first time. Lap number 26, Daniel Holloway is your leader. Will Weber, Rob Duvidak, Chris Akers, Grayson Pate, Sean Stevens, Kirby Kavuta, Ryan Hancock, Tyler Hurt, and John Bell. Your top 10. That's going to scatter out a bunch of trucks here. I show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 10 trucks involved in this incident here tonight that made impact with one another. So there's going to be some faster pairs and some other options in the pits being taken. We're under caution here for the first time tonight. You're watching Turn 1. Pace car lights are off under caution here. Coming to a close. Lap number 29. Going back to green flag. Lap number 30. Daniel Holloway out front after pit stops. Chris Akers going to be outside row number 2. Kirby Caputa. And Grayson Pate, that's the row number 2, rather. Chase Greer, Jeff Carl. Hunter Smith, Ed Smith, Darius Davati. And Todd Poston, your top 10. Pretty big wreck here as they were coming back down the front stretch, and that's unfortunate. A really strong run of 30 laps of, or nearly 30 laps of green flag racing, but we're going to see them get them shaped back up and rack up. About a third of the field involved in that incident. Pace truck's going to come down pit road. And Daniel Holloway is going to get a rolling. Green flag back out here for the American Sim Racing Tour. Under the lights at Daytona. Really split up start here. Really nobody on the high side got rolling at all. I don't know what happened here. Daniel Holloway, though, is going to move up, try to pick up Chris Akers. But that's going to give Kirby Caputa on the inside an opportunity to lead here at Daytona. Holloway and Akers, they're going to be tied together. That outside lane pretty much dissolved through 1 and 2. Now the bottom's got a huge push. The 29s, though, tried to push the 21 up there. They just don't have the momentum just yet. Grayson Pate and Chase Greer on the inside bottom, making it happen here. And the driver of that 83 of Caputa is going to lead a lap. Everybody's starting to get up to speed here, start to collect those RPMs and those miles per hours as they come down through 1 and 2. The pack's starting to shape up a little bit more here. Now the front 5 rows all together, front 6 rows now back together. All being led by the charge on the 83 on the inside there. And then we do have, I believe this is a relatively newcomer, Grayson Pate on the bottom. He gets a little squirrely as they load off into turn number 3. The 21 had to move up a little bit. That's going to slow down that bottom line. In the meantime, Holloway is going to start to get an edge out. He's going to get clear here probably by the end of the stretch. Akers is going to be glued to that bumper. Can he get the 21 clear, or does he move down? He's not going to be able to do it, but keep an eye on that 29 and 21 combo on the high side. Do they get it sorted out? As they roll down through the corner here, can they get free and clear of that inside? Just when I have a little bit of doubt, the 3 drivers on the inside really get that line formed up and get a strong push going. That 29 all over the bumper, though. That 21 car as they roll through 3 and 4. Little 3 wide action back there for a single row, back about 15th. The 83 hanging on to the bottom here. And that 10 truck trying to get a little bit of side draft off of Daniel Holloway. The 29-21 combo just has not really solidified too much just yet. I'm not seeing a big, huge flash of speed out of him on the outside right now, but that's okay. It's still very early here tonight's race. We're only about a third of the way done. And the 16 truck's going to be in the wall. And that's going to cause another incident down the front stretch, and the caution's out again. I believe this all started with the... You know what? I'm not 100% sure. That looked to me like that was the 16 that was involved there that got into the wall a little bit. Let's just go back and see if we can take another quick look. Yeah, that was just, I think everybody was kind of checking up there. You see the 16, he was into the wall as well. So definitely a little bit of a racing incident there. Under caution for the second time here tonight. Daniel Holloway leads. Kirby Caputa on the Kirby Caputa rather. Chris Akers, Grayson Pate, and Chase Greer. It's been about 10 laps since these drivers were about 8 laps since these drivers were down pit road. I suspect we'll see them again. In the meantime, let's take a quick look here at the schedule for the American Stock Car Racing Tour. Maybe you want to join these group of drivers, they'd love to have you. That's the American Sim Racing Tour. I keep calling Stock Car Racing Tour, but no, it is the American Sim Racing Tour. Sorry about that, guys. I eventually will get that right. Anyhow, up front right now, sitting at Daytona here on the 3rd of March. They're going to rotate through Talladega, Daytona, and back and forth here to the 3 times where we enter the playoffs. But they're going to alternate the cars tonight for the first time as trucks. And then they'll take trucks to Talladega next week. And then the week after that, Xfinity for both rounds. And then the next gen car. That's how they like to rotate them around here for the American Sim Racing Tour. And I tell you what, it's a lot of fun to watch. These drivers, they do come here and they have a lot of fun, but they also take it very seriously and put on a really good show here on Turn 1. If you haven't already done so, make sure you get connected to us by liking the page on Facebook or on Twitch. Give us a follow over there on YouTube. We'd love to see you subscribe as well. All free to get connected to Turn 1 Broadcasting, as we've got a ton of other races also throughout the week, including Ohio Sim Racing on Sunday or on Thursday night, Sunday Night Thunder on Sunday nights as well. So really 3 nights of racing here for the foreseeable future right here on Turn 1. On pit road for the second time here, or this is going to be the 3rd time here tonight. Looks like it's going to be a few lonely stops for quite a few. That's going to include Daniel Holloway. That 83, the 10, the 40, and the 38 looks like they all took fuel only. And Holloway is going to come out your leader. We're going to step aside for just a moment. Go back, green flag, racing around lap number 38. You're watching Turn 1. 21, 10. I'm sorry, the 21 and the 83, the 10 and the 40. Your front two rows here at Daytona as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing lap number, or coming to lap number 38. That 21 truck's been up front quite a bit here tonight so far. Staying free and clear of all the incidences on track. While we've seen a couple of these other drivers involved in 2 or more. We'll see how this all, well, the first 2 rather. We'll see how this all shakes out. As that second caution goes back into the pocket. Green flag back out for the American Sim Racing Tour. That bottom line have a huge gap on it again. I don't know what's with the really laggy start. That's going to get the 29 to be able to move down just a little bit. Now he's going to move back to the high side. Everybody just a really slow start behind the leaders. No big rush to get up to speed here, but that's okay. In the meantime, the 83 Caputo is going to be having a pretty strong push here off the nose of Greer. Greer's going to move down to the bottom all of a sudden. Now that 21's in a little bit of trouble. He had the lead, but didn't really have reliable push. So those drivers on the outside were able to take that spot away. Here comes the 29, though, of Chris Akers. He's got a truck with him as well. Can they get that sorted out? Looks like that's the 31 of Poston. He's up front here for the first time tonight. Off the bumper, the 29 on the high side, trying to get a roll or trying to get a run rolling here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 29 and the 21 get connected. Once again, a little bit of 3-wide action towards the rear. That's about 5 rows deep. I think we've seen that truck a couple times stuck in the middle with nowhere to go. In the meantime, the inside line rolling free and clear. The outside's got about 4.5 trucks. I say that because that 5th truck's about half a truck length off. And the 83 is going to lead that lap as they roll through the start-finish line. Lap number 40 up to speed. Side by side as they come down the backstretch, the 29 of Akers leading. A little bit of shuffling back there around row number 3. Everybody's going to get it sorted out. While we've got an opportunity, things are relatively settled. Let's take a chance to ride on board that 21 truck of Daniel Holloway for a lap or 2 here around Daytona. Under caution here again. Lap number 43. Several drivers involved. Let's go back here, take a look, see if we can find out what happened. Coming down the tri-oval, man, somebody just got way out of shape. That's going to claim another half of the field there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's quite a few drivers involved, unfortunately. A lot of folks just came to a stop while they got it sorted out. A big wreck here on the front stretch on lap number 43 at Daytona. We're going to step aside for just a moment. You're watching Turn 1. Your front row of Guy Breco, Chris Akers up front here. Getting ready to go back green flag racing. Breco electing to come down pit road, but I tell you what, he had some of the best. Breco has not been down pit road. Last time down, lap number 36. So only about 4 laps of racing action, 5 laps of racing action under his belt. We'll see how this all shakes out. Does a green flag run really hurt the one truck? We're going to find out. The Silverado pace truck's going to come back down pit road. So we wrap up caution number 3 here. Into the Geico restart zone. Guy Breco racing to the start finish line. Green flag back out here at Daytona. Breco out with a pretty decent start, trying to pick up the 29 of Akers. Akers hits the bumper. Big push there from the 29. The one gets loose. Can they keep that momentum up? In the meantime, the 83 truck on the bottom with a huge run with the 40 right there with him. Side by sides, they come down the backstretch. Breco and 1 and the 29 hooked on the outside, and the 83 and the 40 on the inside. Side by side, 4 rows deep, and a little bit of a gap with the continued side by side action. They roll through the short chute all the way to the tri-oval here. Keep in mind, Daytona has the start finish line at the tri-oval. No racing halfway down the track to turn number 1. Little side-by-side action turning into 3 wide action. Towards the back of the field, that's the 21 of Daniel Holloway up there. Trying to make some moves, trying to form that third line, the 29 of Akers. Off the bumper of the 1, trying to hang on. That middle line not really moving to fruition. I think that's the impatience there, 21 starting to show. He's going to move down to the 4th row on the outside. But right now, Caputa, then the 83, leading that lap, coming through the start-finish line to take lap number 49. A lot of these drivers here now mixed up from about 5th or 6th on back have been involved in incidents here tonight. So it's really going to be interesting to see what this materializes as. In the meantime, the 49 is going to leave the 1. Guy Breco in the middle. Oh, I think the 21 got into the wall a little bit there. The 1 all by himself. It's actually slowing down that outside line a little bit. The bottom really rolling here now. Everybody jostling around. We're going to have cars or trucks spun. Several trucks. It looks like Guy Breco into the wall. A couple others. The 33 is down spinning through the grass. The cautions are going to be out once again. It looks like that may have started there with Eddie Morris or so. Let's go back here and take a look and see what happened as that caution comes out once again. It just looks like I think everybody got a little sideways, jostled around about the mid-pack there. Unfortunately, the 35 is going to be involved in that. He's been involved in a couple incidences here tonight. I'd imagine he is probably running out of faster pairs in that 35. In the meantime, your leader, the 83 of Kirby Caputa out front. Chase Greer, Tyler Hurt, Grayson Pate, Chris Akers, your top 5. Daniel Holloway, Rob Duvidek is currently sitting 7th. Todd Poston is currently 8th. Guy Breco was able to salvage that kind of midline fall there. Stay in the top 10. He's currently sitting 8th. Todd Poston and Jacob Greenlee, your top 10. Imagine we'll see these drivers come back down pit road here for another splash of fuels. We're past halfway tonight. The American Sim Racing Tour live right here on turn 1 under caution for the 4th time at Daytona. Just one lap past halfway. We're going to watch them come down pit road here. See who's going to walk out with the lead, and we'll step aside again. Everybody down below the yellow line. I expect to see the whole field come down here. Looks like everybody's going to be free and clear. The 83 is going to pit. The 21, the 40, and a couple others. Everybody's got to roll it down here towards the end of pit road. Eddie Morrison, the 8 truck. The 21 of Daniel Holloway has been really quick off. Looks like it's going to be a drag race. I believe the 16 truck is going to have it. Tyler Hurt looks like he's going to be fastest off pit road with Grayson Pate. Chris Akers sitting P3. Eddie Morris and the 83 of Kirby Caputa, your top 5 after pit stops wrapped up here at Daytona. Lap number 52 under caution. You're watching turn 1. Jeff By Senior, we see you over on Facebook. Thanks for checking in, bud. Hope you're doing very well. Appreciate you tuning in. Pace truck lights are off. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Lap number 54. Down pit road, that truck comes. Tyler Hurt. Grayson Pate on the front row. Gonna get it rolling back again. Green flag back out here at Daytona. Everybody free and clear. Restarts nice and clean, 2 by 2, about 10 rows back. Up front though, it's Tyler Hurt, Grayson Pace side by side. Akers on the bottom, Eddie Morris in the 8 on the high side. Imagine we're going to start to see this field be a little more conservative here after this rash of incidents. Starting to eliminate a couple of these trucks right now. I show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I show 7 trucks currently not on the lead lap, 3 in the pits. That is going to change the tone of some of this racing here. In the meantime, that bottom line starting to flesh out a little bit. And oh, by the way, we got a new leader out front. Tyler Hurt's able to push forward on the outside lane off the bumper of the 29. Here comes Chris Akers on the bottom. Now all of a sudden that bottom line's completely dissolved. It is gone. Now Pate is sitting back in row number 6, or sorry, position 6, as your top 8 driver, single file, coming across the stripe here to take lap number 56. Only 5 trucks on that outside lane. They're not really anything material, or nothing materializing that run just yet. They're sitting about 10th spot on the bottom. On back right now, it is the 35. I'm sorry, yes, it is the 16, the 29 and 83 show out front. By the way, Daniel Holloway, we've talked about him several times tonight. Always kind of where the racing action is. You see him right there, just sitting around in 4th. I imagine if this outside lane starts to push, and it is now. It's collected. It's got about 8 trucks now, 9 trucks. We could see Holloway pop up there and take the lead off that outside lane just like that. I fully expected that to materialize. And there you have it. Sean Stevens is going to pick him up. Daniel Holloway saw the run coming in the mirror. He's going to slide up to the high side. Now, even with Akers on the bottom, high side firmly activated. Went from no trucks up there to half the field with a huge shove on the outside in a matter of about a lap or so. Sean Stevens to the bumper of Daniel Holloway. Daniel not quite clear of the 16, but looking for an opportunity to duck down there to take the lead. Side by side as they roll through 3 and 4. I would argue that everybody looks a little more patient right now with one another, as they know they've got about a little more than 40 laps remaining here tonight at Daytona. Hurt now off the bumper, Sean Stevens. I'm sorry, Hurt now off the bumper of Akers. Still hanging on to the bottom here with, oh, the 29 washing up the track a little bit. That's going to slow down that bottom line. Caputo's going to lose a little bit of momentum. Now the 29 back to the bumper of the 16. In the meantime, will we see the 21 get a run here off the I'm sorry, that is the 21 off the number off the 27. Can they get that run materialized? Oh, big move by the 7 back there. That's Dalton Gibson. I know we've got a couple of viewers over on YouTube watching Gibson run tonight. We saw him move to the bottom. He's been flirting with the top 10 all night long, making some moves both the high and low side. Now sitting the 4th truck back on that inside, or 5th truck back on that inside line. Hurt continues to lead the bottom here. Looking for the 21 to figure something out. The 29 with the 16. Akers is a strong pusher each and every week here that we've seen on turn 1. He's been a factor in a lot of these races here. Has pushed a couple of folks to the wins. And hanging on for the ride here off the tailgate of that 16 truck so far at Daytona. The 83 can put it all over the bumper, the 29 as well. Looking for a little bit of a run there, but they're going to lose that momentum as they get off into the corner. But I imagine this is all speed going to materialize as they get out of 3 and 4 here. It felt like a really big push out of the top 3 inside cars. Now in that outside lane, the 21. Gonna have a little bit of a momentum coming across the line here. It was neck and neck, but the Hurt, the 16 Hurt machine, led that last time by. Lap number 62 of 100, right here on turn 1, American Sim Racing Tour. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Some more super speedway action here. I tell you what, we were at Talladega last night. Daytona here tonight. We'll be at Talladega again next week for this group. And that 29 and that 16, they're hooked up. I've not seen a leader be so dominant up front outside of the 21 to Holloway. 29 was connected pretty hard there. Got him out to about a 2-truck length lead over the outside row. That contains Sean Stevens and the 21 of Daniel Holloway, but fear not, here they come. Side by side through the corner here. Hurt on the bottom. Akers with a solid push. While we've got the opportunity, let's ride on board with that 83 truck. And let's crank it up a little bit as we roll around Daytona. Riding on board there with the 83 just shows you how squirrely these trucks can be. We saw the 83 all over the rear bumper of the 29, but that's what it takes to be quick here at these super speedway tracks like Daytona and Talladega. You've got to be all over the bumper in front of with the driver in front of you It's how you make speed. You keep those cars nose to tail. Everybody, it's like it's a big, just a natural pushing effect out of everybody. You've got to have the shove for the person in front of you. The person behind you's got to be pushing you. It's all got to work out for it all to be kind of a science here at Daytona Super Speedway Racing. I say it every week, but the greatest equalizer in NASCAR, it doesn't take a ton of talent. You still got to be smart and know how to wheel it, but it takes just as equal parts luck to really be able to get it done here. And you've got to be there at the end. And right now, some of these drivers are starting to get into position where they are there at the end. We see a couple folks, there it is, moving to the inside. Green flag pit stops underway. Wow, the 29, that was he coming in hot there. He's going to take the lead away from the 16 as we see it right now. Oh, and the caution's out. We got a couple drivers sideways. This is going to drastically affect how those pit stops conveyed. Dalton, Gibson, Will Weber, and Smith involved. Let's see if we can find out what happened here. Oh, looks like Gibson may have just gotten in the back of somebody. That outside lane check up. I am not quite sure what I just witnessed. Let's see if we can take one more look at it here. Actually, let's just do the old rewind, shall we? Let's all watch it unfold backwards. Coming through this tri-oval here. Oh, no, it looks like Sean Stevens came down, collected the 7 right there in front of a bunch of fast drivers. We see Weber involved and a couple others. That is unfortunately going to bring the caution out here once again. That's also going to, I don't know how this is going to play to the drivers that just came down pit road. Actually, I think it's going to work out for them. They're going to have tires in service and essentially go back to the front. There was only 4 of them down pit road at the time, including I believe who we had, Tyler Hurt, Chris Akers, and a couple others. I think they're gonna be fine. I think they're gonna rotate to the front here once everybody else pits. As we see that 83 truck out front, Chase Greer, Grayson Pate, Jacob Greenlee, Joseph Fogg, your top 5. Under caution for the 5th time, lap number 69 here at Daytona. You see it, everybody's going to come down pit road here, with the exception. Well, it looks like it's, oh yeah, they're going to get caught up here. That's what's going on, is Akers isn't even caught up yet. Neither Will Weber is now also, he's also slow. But he's going to have some damage after being involved in that incident. That right rear, or that right front looking a little too rough for wear. But this is where Akers and co. are really going to benefit from this caution. They've already been down pit road. They're going to cycle out the lead. And it looks like Russ Hancock, Tyler Hurt, Matt Binky all electing to come down on lap number 67 just before that caution came out. That's going to put them up front in the top 4. We're going to step aside here in just a moment. Lap number 70. You're watching Turn 1.
breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart. You can have it back if it's only half of your heart. It's only half of your heart.
Pace truck goes down pit road, getting ready to get back. Green flag racing here. Lap number 71. Akers is going to lead it with Russ Hancock on the outside. Russ with a big run. Gets rolling here. Is going to move down to the bottom. Well, it looks like he was going to move down to the bottom. Not going to do so. Going to try to control that outside line. Double wide here for the first 4 rows, and a pretty big gap on that outside group. A bottom line being led by Chris Akers. The 29 pretty much pulling off what I would consider a relatively flawless race here tonight. Sitting up front for the most part. You've seen him either pushing or being pushed quite a bit here, but mostly staying out of trouble, being within the first 2 rows. Russ Hancock, though, big shove down the front stretch, and they're going to make it 3 wide back there. That's a 16. Tyler Hurt. And Kermit Caputa as well, dicing it up. 3 wide for third. Nowhere safe on the racetrack right now. Tyler Hurt's going to, that third 3 wide battle is going to dissolve a little bit. Now shift into a 2 wide pack there, 5 cars deep. In the meantime, that's just going to give the 29 and the 83 more time to get collected and push down the front stretch. Side by side, the front 2 rows. Trying to hold the battle off. Now on the outside, trying to make something happen here, materializing that 3rd row. I believe is that the 43 of Greer out there? No. That is not. That is going to be, that's Binky out on the outside all by himself now, starting to slide back a little bit. That 35 truck. He's been kind of all over the racetrack here tonight, including in the grass. Right now, trying to make something happen on that outside lane with the 29 truck leading on the bottom as they're going to come to the stride. 25 laps remaining here at Daytona. Best case scenario, these drivers are going to see pit road one more time before it's all said and done. As we see there, that's Russ Hancock on the or on the outside, move to the inside. That's now going to open up the outside to be led by Tyler Hurt, rather. And then the 35, Matt Beakey glued to the bumper. This is going to slow down this bottom line. I think that That 343 truck, I don't think he's got damage, but I've not seen a whole lot of pace out of that driver tonight. This may check that inside lane up a little bit. Here comes Tyler Hurt, even with our leader. He's got the 35 with him. He's also got the 39 of Devati. And there it is. Big shove out front. Not going to move down on him, though. The 16. Oh, there he is. There it is. The 16 now. Going to move to the bottom. That is going to leave the 35 and the 39 to 32, or the 33 outside. All by their lonesome. And a driver who was priding himself pretty much, I would imagine, staying up front and happy about staying out of the drama was the 29. Well, now he's 3 rows back on the inside in a matter of 2 or 3 laps. Let's see what the 29 can do. Imagine that the 83 is also going to want to be on the move here, but just not a ton of place to go with 23 laps remaining here under the lights at Daytona. Was a little worried about that inside lane getting checked up, and as you can see, it definitely had an impact with the 343 moving down. And now the 16 truck trying to lead that inside lane with the 35 and the 39 on the outside. A little bit of door draft that happened as they roll through 3 and 4. That outside lane only about 6 trucks deep. You see the 39 poking out a couple times there. I don't know if that's for temperature or if that's just that driver just struggling with the handling of that 39. Nonetheless, that outside lane not really lined up bumper to bumper here. That's going to give the inside lane an opportunity for a shove. The 343 looking to the inside or the outside of the 16 for a moment. Oh, big move by Beaky, the 35. Slides down really aggressively across the nose of the 16. That checks up that whole inside lane just a bit. And now, as we were talking about, the 29 of Akers kind of sitting back there 4 rows deep, 5 rows deep, or 4 rows deep rather. While we see the 83 Caputa, who's been up front a couple times, now moving to the outside. Side by side as they roll through 3 and 4 here. Coming to the stripe, 20 laps remaining. The 35, your leader. With pit stops still needed for a lot of these drivers, I believe everybody will need to come down pit road at least one more time. Maybe with the exception of Ed Smith, who was on lap 70, but even then, that would require 30 laps of nearly green flag racing. I don't know if there's enough fuel you can cram in these trucks, so I imagine we'll see pit stops one more time, but we're also probably going to see another caution the way these drivers are racing. And the 39 truck's now going to move to the inside. This is where, again, drivers like the 29, the 83, you got to wonder what they're thinking there. Do you stay here knowing you got to come down pit road? Do you maybe even pit early just because that's where you are on the inside and assume you could get a couple trucks to come with you and make a run? And it looks like that inside lane's just going to stall out. Just not a lot of pace there for some of these drivers. In the meantime, here comes the Smith duo. That's Ed and Hunter. Going to take that lead away from the 39. This field now being led by Hunter squared in the front row. And look at Caputa, huge run, shoving the 11 truck up there. That's going to be Hunter Smith. He's going to be able to get clear on the bottom. Now everybody's kind of checked up on the inside. I don't know if we're about to see some pit stops or what. We do see one truck come down pit road. But I tell you what, that inside lane just really come apart here with these passes. The 11 truck of Hunter Smith with Kirby Caputa, Ed Smith, Darius Devati, Joseph Fogg, your top 5. Again, I imagine we're going to see some pit stops here. Most of the field single file out. It's 18 laps to go. What do you elect to do here if you're, say, the driver of the 29, the 16, the 21, the 83 even? What's the call here? Knowing you've been up front all night tonight, making it look pretty easy. And then what do you do if you're the 83 or the 11? Do you stay out, wait for the caution to come out while everybody else comes down pit road? See a couple drivers dip, but nobody's going to take last time by. The move really is, you know, depending on fuel positioning and where you are, what you've been running, have you been saving on that on that outside lane, or maybe you've been saving 10 cars back? Did you save enough? And maybe that's what's happening with this inside lane here, is everybody's in fuel conservation mode. In the meantime, here comes the 8 of Eddie Morris. That's 99, Robin Duvidek, the 92. Up there, Will Weaver back in the mix of it again, and Joseph Greenlee on that outside lane. See if we see any pit stops come to fruition. Yes, we're going to see a bunch of drivers come down pit road. That is going to be the most of your lead pack, I would argue. That's Akers, the 21, the 18, I'm sorry, the 16, the 74. Some of the fast drivers, we knew this was going to have to happen. They're going to come down pit road. Now, in the meantime, what do you do if you're the 8 or the 11, the 83, the 99? Do you stay out here and see if a caution materializes? Ride the gamble. You've got enough fuel to probably go another 5 laps. Do you wait it out? Or do you come down now when you have that pack with you? It's really going to be the question. You've got to have some teammates to make this happen. So the 8's on the radio with the 11. What do you want to do? Do we stay out? Do we go? Last time by, nobody's going to come down pit road here. Coming to the stripe, 17 to go. I'm sorry, that's 15 to go, rather. And a lead change here as they roll through turn 1. Duvidek pulls Will Weaver with him. They get clear. Single file now, pretty much all throughout the entire field here for the first 12 trucks, 15 trucks or so. The 99 of Rob Duvidek, I know he has the pace, has had the pace each and every week, just caught up in a lot of silly stuff out front here under the lights of Daytona. Again, it becomes a choice about pit stops. Who comes? And there you have it. The rest of the lead pack's going to come down. Boy, howdy, that's a lot of trucks in trouble. I see a truck sideways on the track. That may bring out the caution. I'm not sure who that was, but that is going to bring pretty much the entire lead pack down pit road. Now, it's up to the 99, the 92, and the 8. How long do you wait? They're going to slide by that lap traffic. Keep in mind, Kirby Caputa, the fastest off that pack right now, is just now getting to the bottom of turn 1. They're not going to wait long. They're going to come down pit road, led by the 99. Last green flag stops of the night underway here. So what does this look like in terms of speed? Caputa doesn't really have, I mean, he's got a shove, but it ain't a strong one. That's off of Dalton Gibson, who's going to be running second. Rotate through to second. Jacob Greenlee, Joseph Fogg, Tyler Hurt. But boy, howdy, these drivers are just not quite put together. Well, Hurt's got a string of them coming. Hurt, a 21 to Holloway. Gibson's going to try to get there as well. Those are going to be the fast guys. This may very well be the caution. Oh! Hurt had to really back down to not just completely destroy the back end of the 7 truck. I'm sorry, the 7 truck there. The now 16s with them. This pack now all together. This is going to be the lead pack. Will Weaver, he's up there by himself leading. He's got Duvidek with him, not quite connected. They're still getting up the speed. They're going to merge in with their leaders. But they're not going to be able to do too much to hold off this big pack of 8 trucks or so coming down. Then we catch it up with probably the backstretch next time by. If this pack can hold it together, it is a wild back here. Led by the 16 of Hurt on the outside. He's going to slide down. Hurt's going to bring Todd Poston with him. And they're going to quickly climb up here and get up to speed. Probably about 10-mile-an-hour difference between these two packs. Duvedek on the bottom. They're going to make him working for it on the high side. Duvedek. Weber. It's all going to balance out. They're going to merge right in here. Wow, Dalton Gibson really fires one out to the high side. And just like that, Weber, they're going to hold him off. Just enough to slow him down. Just enough pace. The 99 and the 92 played that perfectly. Will Weber is going to assume the lead off the pit stops. 11 to go. I didn't know if the 99 and the 92 were going to have enough run there to hang on without the leaders blowing their doors off. But I tell you what, that worked out perfectly. Now the 16 of Hertz back there. You've also got Todd Poston. He's leading that outside line with Gibson. The 29 of Akers. We talked about him several times here tonight. He's sitting all the way back in 8th, about 4 cars back on that outside lane with 10 to go and nowhere really to make a move right now. You've got to be there at the end, so where does it materialize? Side by side as they come down the backstretch. Poston starting to get a feel for the sniff of the clean air, the lead off the bumper, the 7, the 29. In the meantime, the 29 is not let up on the 92. I'm wondering about temperatures on that 99. Can he keep it buried into the bumper for 9 more laps? The 92 is going to lead down to the bottom. 9 to go here at Daytona for the American Sim Racing Tour. Right here on turn 1. If you've not already done so, make sure you get connected with us. You're not going to want to miss the finish of this. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, do whatever you need to do on any one of our social media pages. We are live everywhere you consume content, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Every Monday night for the American Sim Racing Tour. Right now, Todd Poston on the outside with a 7 truck with a hard push. The 92 on the inside with the 99 with him. Making it happen. In the meantime, the 29 all of a sudden back in play here. He's up on the high side. 3 trucks deep on the outside. And the 92 is going to move up, try to block the run from Poston. I think this is going to allow, though, the 99 to get to the inside. It is. And Rob Duvedek going to move down to the inside and take that lead. The 92 is going to try to hold off that outside line. What a move. I don't know if this was a defensive move on the 92's part or what, but I tell you what, they do not want to let that 16 truck get too creative on that outside lane. If not, we're going to see a big run here. The 8 truck on the bottom as well. A lot of fast players all over the racetrack here in the top 10. Who's it going to be? Bringing home the checkered flag tonight, we're going to find out in just a little over 7 laps. Duvedek on the inside by him, on the inside with 16 of Hurt with him. On the outside, it's going to be that's going to be Weber and Poston. Everybody's 2 by 2, pretty much even down the backstretch. Where does the run come from? It's going to require a level of aggressiveness here. Does it really materialize from the outside? Is somebody going to get aggressive on the bottom? Right now, Nobody has really shown that they can make it happen on that third line. We could see drivers give it a shot, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 29 maybe try to make something happen if they're push the issue with 2 to go. Paulson would probably go with him. That would chew up the 92. But boy, howdy, would that get the 99 in the inside row enough momentum to get underneath them and cause even more mayhem? Who knows? In the meantime, though, holy cow, 16's got that hurt. The 99's got hurt in the 16 with a hard push down the backstretch. And there it is. That's what I was wondering about. If that, oh, they're gonna wreck. That's Poston and Caputa in the grass. And Caputa comes all the way back up the track. 3 to 4 trucks into the wall. I don't know about that. We're gonna stay green flag. Hurt now on the inside. This was what I was worried about. I knew if they let the 16 get on the high side, it was gonna be all said and done. Well, guess what? Tyler Hurt now. Worked the outside, now back to the inside. And he is going to be the leader on the bottom with 5 to go. The 92 of Weber has the 29 with him. That is about the best truck you could possibly have with you here. Are those two just settling in, waiting to make a move? The 92's in the best spot. He's got the 40 of the 29 that could give him a shove up there, get clear. With a lap to go, but then what does the 29 do? Oh, by the way, Daniel Holloway in the 21. He's back up here in the mix. It looks like this front 8 or 9 trucks is going to be the ones contending for the lead here if they stay green. The 92 and the 29 don't quite have a run together. Whoa! The 92 got really loose. The 29 had to check up. Dumadek getting aggressive here. Trying to find a run. Nearly cuts off the 8. He was going to move up. That 99 car, that 99 truck's going to slow that inside lane. And guess what? Will Weaver's going to take the bottom. All because Dumadek got loose. Checked up the inside lane. Oh, and now they're going to get sideways. The 16 turns the 92. And all of a sudden, Chris Akers up front off the bumper of the 21. 3 to go. Not how you wanted that to materialize. Unfortunately, Weber went through a ride down the backstretch. Coming across the stripe, 2 to go, the 29 truck. Oh, and Gibson's now going to be in the wall. No patience. Everything's out the window now. Dumadek's going to have the 8 with him. They're going to try to make something happen on the high side. It's going to be the 29, the 21. I would argue some of the better talent we've seen on Super Speedway Racing at its finest on the bottom. But can they match a 3-truck run? The 99 and the 8 get out front free and clear. They're going to leave the 50 on the high side. Rob Dumadek is going to lead, rolling through 3 and 4. The 29 now is going to move high. The 8 tried to move up to block the run. White flag is out one more time here at Daytona. Now, Akers is going to have a huge shove by the 21. He's going to get clear of Dumadek down the backstretch. Does he get the 21 to go with him? In the meantime, the 8 and the 99 are connected like glue on the bottom. But that's not going to stop the run here. The 21 all over the bumper of the 29. Akers could move down here, electing not to. The 50 truck back with him. Huge run on the outside. Akers has to make the move. He couldn't bring the 21 with him. The 29 out of the bottom. Right off the nose of the 99 as they come down the short chute. The 29 of Chris Akers is going to win one at Daytona. Big pile up there towards the end. That's going to give the 39 truck of Darius Devadia the win, and then Eddie Morris, or not win, the P2, and Eddie Morris P3. Unfortunately, the 99 is backwards on the track. Currently going to be sitting 5th in scoring. Tyler Hurt is sitting 4th here tonight. What a win for Chris Akers as he comes down the backstretch. We're going to step aside for just a moment and bring you some post-race coverage. You're watching Turn 1. A race win in the books here at Daytona for Chris Akers. That 29 truck doing donuts there in the grass here at Daytona under the lights. And Chris, congratulations on that victory. I tell you what, 8 laps ago, I bet you were probably not thinking you were going to be right here where you are now.
You know, we had to push real hard there at the end. The team done a great job getting on and off pit road and getting us back up there. But yeah, I wish I could do some burnouts right now, but I'm out of fuel. That's all I had. Well, I ran out coming to the start line just so I could do donuts, and as soon as I turned that thing sideways, it clunked out on me. So yeah, that was a fun race. I hate Will got taken out there and Tyler getting involved in that. And not the way I wanted to win. Wanted to see a nice clean race to the back to the checkers, but a good run to Dupe and Morris and Holloway. Oh, that was a fun race.
Yeah, Chris, obviously it was a lot of back and forth here tonight. We saw you really stay up front for most of it. It seemed like that was the safest place for a lot of these drivers, including you. Was that your strategy, just to be up front as long as possible here tonight?
Oh, it seems like the more you stay up front, you stay out of the mess in the rear. Sometimes it can get up there to you at the front, but here tonight I finally got below 5X and only had one incident, which was right there when we crossed the finish line. I wasn't even involved in it. It still gave me a 4X. So, but yeah, that was the whole goal, is to stay up front as long as I could. I only led 8 laps, which was a little bummer, but at least I got the win. That's all that matters.
That's right. Leading the lap that matters. The victory here tonight at Daytona. Chris, congratulations.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it so much, man.
Absolutely. And with that, I'll tell you what, a wild race under the books, or under the lights in the books here for the American Sim Racing Tour. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Just trying to see if we could get second and third place to come chat with us, but they have not popped in here just yet. We'll give them another minute. In the meantime, let's take a quick look at the schedule for these drivers. As we alluded to earlier in the broadcast, they're going to flip back and forth through Talladega and Daytona. That is what this American Sim Racing Tour is all about. So next week we head to Talladega and the trucks, and then the week of 3/17 we come back to Daytona in the Xfinity car, working all the way through to the next gen. And then playoffs kick off in April. I'll tell you what, if you want to get connected with these groups, I'd be more than happy to connect you. If you would come racing with these guys, it's as you can see, it can be a lot of fun running these super speedway tracks with a variety of talent on deck. It looks like we're going to not get to second and third place here tonight, but with that being said, congratulations to those drivers. They were able to complete it here, and I'll tell you what, that was a little bit of a messy one, but nonetheless very entertaining. On behalf of the league admins here for the American Sim Racing Tour, I'm Sean Fitz. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We will catch you next Monday night. Go up to Talladega in the trucks, and then obviously this coming Thursday, Ohio Sim Racing returns back to the channel. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think they're off this week. And then we will catch you on Sunday Night Thunder, the Sim 500 group. A lot of racing action. Make sure you stay tuned to us on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. For all the latest and greatest content, I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye now.